Hello, hello, hello. Hello, my darlings. I don't expect anyone to be here because I didn't post out about this at all. But hello, I'm going live today to do my tier ranking for my favorite authors. For my new to me authors in 2023. Basically, I was trying to film this video. It wasn't going the way that I wanted, and Ash kindly came up with the idea of going live and doing it live. So I probably will format this into an actual YouTube video that I'll post as well. But we're here doing the thing because we can. So let's see what we're working with. I also just wanted to give credit to Bookmark Chronicle and Nerdy Nat Reads, who are both linked in the description below. When I was thinking about this video and doing it, I hadn't seen anyone do it, and then they both did it. And I was like, oh, this is great. Okay, so that's where the names come from as well. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, I'm just going to go through and tier rank the authors that I read in 2023. I do have some categories in two different versions, so we'll just see how this goes. And yeah, if you want to let me know any thoughts or opinions, or if my opinion is wrong and I deserve to be higher or lower, feel free to shout that at me as well. But I'm going to load up my tier ranking. So the top one we have is Continued Already. So I've already read another book from that author in 2023. Absolutely, I'm ready to go. I will absolutely continue on with her work, and I've either got the next one lined up or I know about it and am ready to pick it up. I'm happy for you to waltz on my TBR anytime is basically authors that I really, really enjoyed reading from, but I just don't own the next books. So I'm not quite ready to dive into a work of theirs, or I'm not sure what their backlog is and I haven't actually researched into it. These two are sort of a little bit funky because there might be authors that I'm more than happy to read another thing from, and if they ended up on my TBR, I'd prioritize it above all else, but I don't own anything from them at the moment. So that's sort of between the two. The next one I have is I Ain't Gonna Seek It Out, but I Ain't Gonna Be Mad If It Happens. So basically, I really liked what the author did, but I don't really have any plans to check out their backlog. But if anything crops up or I get sent a gift from them, I'm definitely not going to be mad about it. Then yeah, Prob's Not is fairly self-explanatory. It's just, if it happens, okay, but probs, yeah, nah. The next one is I'm only continuing because you're on my physical TBR. So there are some authors here that honestly I probably wouldn't pick them up again, but I do own another book by them and I haven't unhauled it yet. So they're going on there because I have them on my TBR. And then for authors I just really didn't vibe with, it's the oh honey no category. So those are this first tier ranking set, and I just had a lot of fun creating it. These have fluctuated so much since the original conceptualizing that I had, because originally it was going to be yes, maybe no, and then when I filmed the video I was getting shitty at myself because that wasn't accurate for how I felt about these authors, and I was just like, and then I made this tier list, and then I was trying to insert, I'd put the books in and take a screenshot, and it's so much easier just to do it live. So that's what we're going to do. I do have a few stats in terms of the actual number of new to me authors and all of that good fun stuff. So basically I read 164 books in 2023. 116 were books by authors I'd read before, and 48 were new to me. My caveat for this is if I did continue on with the author, however many works of theirs after I've read the initial one, they ended up in the read before. So, you know, I've got Theodora Goss, and I read the entire Athena Club series. So one is in the new to me, and then 2 are in the read before, because I read from that author before, from earlier. So that's basically the gist of this, and I'm just going to work through month by month and put them where I think they need to go. So yeah, I hope you find this enjoyable. Feel free to let me know anything you want to let me know. More than happy to have a chat. I'll do this and then jump over to the other one. If it gets too hot, the fan will probably go on. So I apologize in advance, and we'll just see where we end up. Hello! How are we doing? And yeah, I might do sprints afterwards. I haven't really decided because it is hot as a mother trucker where I am, and I value not melting into a puddle. So, yeah. Alrighty. So to start off, I had 4 books in January that were new to me authors. And the first one was The Trauma Cleaner by Sarah Krosneski. And I'm going to put, I ain't going to seek it out, but I ain't going to be mad if it happens. I really enjoyed their work. I thought that it was really insightful. The subject of this is following a particular individual and looking at writing their biography in interview format, and it's very Aussie. It is so Aussie it hurts. And yeah, I know that they have more of a work. I'm not going to actively seek it out at the moment, but I still think it's going to be interesting. So I wouldn't be mad if I end up picking up one or it comes into my hand some way. The next author is Natalie Haynes with 1,000 Ships, and absolutely, I'm ready to go. I have more Natalie Haynes on my TBR already. Charlotte from Clumsy Charlotte has gifted me some. I think Mel from a book thing named Mel also gifted me one. And yeah, I think it's going to be a good time. I've really, really enjoyed their writing. It's almost midnight here, so everyone is in bed but me. Oh, very nice. Getting some YouTube in before you crash out. I definitely struggled to wake up this morning because I was just like, it's so hot, and all I want to do is sit and watch YouTube. I hope you had a lovely day, though. I really enjoy the lag at lives because it's like, I want to continue, but I also want to see what you say. So then I'm not like just shutting you off. Yeah. Let's see. So, why must it be so toasty? I don't even know what the weather is at the moment. I've been actively ignoring it. But I just know that I'm a melting puddle. Oh, it's only 29 degrees. That hurts. So the next author is Scott. Let me double check that. Scott Stewart, yes. With The Brain Is Not Always Right. And this is a adorable picture book that I really, 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 really loved. But I'm not going to seek out any of their work. I haven't Googled it into what they've got out. So I'm going to put them in. I'm happy for you to waltz on my TBR anytime. Fabulous way of portraying how brains operate. And I just, it was so good. So be very happy if any of their other works, if they have any, come onto my TBR. I'm not going to actively like seek it out, but it's also a higher on the, like, if I happen to Google it, you know, it can come on, and I definitely will pick it up quite quickly. And then finally for January, we had Katie Henry with Heretics Anonymous. And I'm going to pop that one in the yeah, probs not. I didn't dislike Heretics Anonymous. I thought it was fun, but I think I'm just phasing out of YA, especially more of the younger angsty sort of vibe. And so I don't know if they have any other adult work or anything like that, but I'm not even interested in finding out. So, you know, it's just like, yeah, I'm good to continue on because I have other authors that I do want to read. And I have a lot of series that I have to pick on. So that was January. In February, I only had 2 new to me authors. And so we had Uncommon Type by Tom Hanks. And I'm so glad Aoife is not watching because this is going to go in the oh honey no section. Unfortunately, I didn't vibe with this. This was one of my most disappointing reads of 2023. It was just very middle-aged white man, and honestly, that's not my vibe. So no, I'm not going to do that to myself, and I just want to keep Tom Hanks as the nice actor that he is. I don't think the writing was bad. It just wasn't the book for me. So we can love that and leave it. And then Flowers for Algodon. I'm going to pop in. I'm happy for you to waltz on my TBR anytime. I really adored Flowers for Algodon. Again, leaning towards, I ain't going to seek it out, but I am more than happy for these authors to jump onto my TBR. It's just the luck of the draw because, they were exceptionally crafted books. And I very much enjoyed Flowers for Algodon in a way that I wasn't expecting. I'm not sure how I will vibe with their other works, but I'm definitely very happy to give them another go considering how expertly Flowers for Algodon was crafted. And that was January. That was February. So for March, I had another 4 new to me. And the first one is The Secret History. And sorry, my headset just died. Glad that there's no one else here for that to be a problem. So The Secret History is going on to, I'm only continuing because you're already on my physical TBR. I have the Goldfinch. I am very tempted to unhaul it, but I haven't yet, and I intend to read my TBR until the point that I unhaul it, so it's on there. And this is legitimately the whole reason why I created the tier ranking, because I got to this point and was like, dear God, this needs to be done in a different format from how I originally recorded it. So I didn't dislike Donna Tartt's writing. It was good. I can definitely understand why so many people love it. But for me personally, it's just not my vibe. But I also want to give the Goldfinch a tart? The fuck? The one problem to doing this live is I can't edit this shit out. Whereas normally in my videos I can. I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to give it a go. And that will be my deciding factor if I continue with them or not. Next, we had The Namazu and The Greatest Gift. And for that one, because I don't actually know the author, I can see that the company is Square Enix, but I wasn't sure who wrote it. So I'm going to pop that. I ain't going to seek it out, but I ain't going to be mad if it happens. It definitely could potentially walk onto our TBR if Ash does more research and finds out there are more things by this company under these names. But for me, I'm just happy to leave it as is. It was so cute. Like, absolutely loved it. But I just don't have the desire to actively seek out more because it's also from Final Fantasy, which I've never played. Well, actually, that's a lie. I've played it once. But it's just, I don't need those extra stories. But if Ash picks them up, then I will happily read them because it's cute. So that's where that one's sort of like, where are we putting these? The next one that I have is Blood Debts, and this is by Terry J. Benton Walker, I believe. And for this one, I'm going to pop in, I'm happy for you to waltz on my TBR anytime. I do believe that the second one is available on Everend, and I will be continuing with it, but I'm not quite ready to go with it. So at the moment, I don't think I had that on my spreadsheet as series started. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh, the things you realize as you go. Are you laughing?
Maybe. Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah. This is why I usually film videos rather than try and do it in a live format and my lives just be the chaotic shit that I am, because I is chaotic bitch. Here we are. But yes, not quite ready to continue on with this at this point in time, but I definitely will, and I'm happy for it to come on my TBR at any point. Really? There have been quite obscure picks, I think. The first half of my year was definitely more just those random little things that sort of just pop up every so often. But, I like that. Hopefully there will be at least one thing on the 48 that you have read from before, or by the same author, even if you haven't necessarily read the book that I read as the new to me. Yay! Thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah. Oh, thank you. And then I think, yeah, Catch-22 by Joseph Heller is my last one for March. And Oh Honey No. Oh Honey No is more just like, this isn't my vibe. I didn't dislike it, but I also don't think that it's the right author and or subject for my personal taste and preference. It's not necessarily it's bad. I just don't vibe with the particular writing style and or the subject for whatever reason. Good morning. I hope you have a fantabulous day. Yeah, and so that was March. It's currently 3:38 p.m. for me. So, you know, time is an illusion and I am a time traveler. It's good fun. Yeah. And then for April, I had 6 new to me authors. Wow. I'm just realizing I tried so hard to continue with series, and I had so many standalones and I had a few starts to series that I'm just like, how did I manage to have 6 new to me authors in a month? Just blows my mind. But I only had 48 overall, so it's balanced. But yes. So Sienna, I really hope you're not watching right now. So the next one is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. And I'm going to go in, Oh Honey No. Personally for me, Where the Crawdads Sing, I can really appreciate the book. I'm not a historical fiction girly. It's not my vibe. I got to go like ancient history. but also like the problematic elements of Delia Owens and just what I've heard. Oh no. So I don't know if they have anything else out. But yeah, nah, I will not be continuing with their works. But I can appreciate the story for what it was and how many people love it. Just not my vibe. I'm so sorry. I really hope Sienna's not here. Margaret, I've been dragging on doing one of these tier ranking thingies too. Well done on making it live. I just had a moment then where I said something about combining the Goldfinch and Donna Tartt's name and giving it a try all in a humbly jumbly. So it's like, I now remember why I do sit down and edit my videos. But yes, I'm happy to be doing this live because this format is working so much better, even if you'll have to go through my chaotic brain with me in what usually gets edited out of the filming process. So I hope that you enjoy. Me neither, and I do like it. Yeah. Yes. So, oh, thank God. I feel like, we always have those conversations of separating the art from the artist and where do we draw the lines. And for each individual, it's always going to be your own personal line. I ain't going to judge anyone for their choices and opinions or anything like that. You do you. I may not personally vibe with it, and I may think that if someone is doing something that is harmful to other people and you're actively promoting it, I'm not going to comment on it to you. I just will, not you personally, Margaret, but anyone that's doing it, I will have that thought of, that doesn't necessarily align with what I believe, but it's one of those situations. And I know so many people love Where the Crawdad Sings. So it's like, no, not you. You are a wonderful human being. You are amazing. But, for anyone that holds different values and opinions to myself. But yeah, it's just, I know so many people really vibed with it. And I just, no. Yep. Oh, to be fair, there's only 48 out of the 164 books that I read. So hopefully, as long as I don't have a little ADHD distracted brain moment, we should be okay. But yes, maybe get some coffee and cake and other supportive choices. So I'm sort of like happy to bounce between conversation and actually doing it and whatever. Floats the goats. I do have this one which has my like hilarious little, well, I find them hilarious little descriptors, but then I also have another one that's like, how do I actually rank these in terms of best to worst? So if anyone sticks around, or I can just keep doing it because it's fun. Yes, the next one I have is Bad Romance by Heather Demetrios, and I am happy for their works to come onto my TBR at any time. Holy shit, I love when authors deal with hard-hitting topics in beautiful ways. Yes, it is YA. Yes, it is definitely cringy moments at some points, but I forgive it because I expect that with a narrative structure, because young adults can be cringy. Anyone can be cringy. I'm definitely cringy, and I'm unfortunately a fully fledged adult. But for YA, I definitely have a lot of grace for, those conversations that are handled well, but also completely understandably how characters in those situations would be dealing with it. So definitely on the YA new adult leaning sort of writing that I vibe with personally. There will be others on here that is YA that reads a little bit more juvenile. There's already one with the Heretics Anonymous. Just, I didn't vibe with it. It felt more juvenile than adult for where I want my young adult leaning to lie. and that's just personal preference. Obviously, if I have your favorite author on here and I put them like low, or you love someone and you hate someone and I put them high, like, I apologize. This is just how my brain goes. Cool. And then I have Melissa Bashardoust, and I actually forgot that one of their books is one that I have wanted to read for years. I didn't realize it was the same author because I just had the cover in my head, and it was like Girl Made of Snow, Glass and Snow, you know, one of those funky titles. And I realized the other day that it was the same author. So I'm happy for them to waltz on my TBR anytime. I'm not necessarily going to pick it up right at this point in time, but I'm very excited to pick that one up, and I will happily read it if it were to come on my TBR. And then we've got All Our Hidden Gifts by Caroline O'Donoghue, and that's gone up to Already Continued. I read the second one in this trilogy in 2023, and so I'm so happy that it's up there. I adored All Our Hidden Gifts. Unfortunately, the second one was a little bit more leaning to that whiny YA, but you know, we're here, and I did manage to continue with it, and I really hope that the last book in the trilogy lands, because I would love to continue reading from this author, and I'm not sure after that second book. It definitely had second book syndrome, but fingers crossed. Hello, Erin. How are we? I'm going through and having to make decisions, my broski. Like actual definitive decisions. It's weird as shit. Oh no. Where? What? Who? What? Where? I'm blind. I can't see shit. I'm only continuing. Oh, my apologies. Here you go. This is fixable. There you go. You are on. Yes. Yes. Was that the right one? Or am I missing something? Oh no. I don't want to kill Aaron. It's not the goal. Welcome. My apologies. You can breathe easy. It's all good. We got it. We got it. Yeah. She go take a nap. I don't even know where my brain's up to anymore. Who knows? Not me, that's for sure. I'm just questioning my life choices. Ha! Cool. Okay, here we go. So, The Scapegraces by Hannah Abigail Clark was a recommendation from Cara from Bianca Reads, and absolutely I'm ready to go. So I would like to read the second book, the Scratch Daughter. That's the second one. Happy to pick that up anytime. I adore this. This was dark, and it was my dark, but not normal people dark. Like Erin reads horror, weird shit that's actually considered dark and horrific, whereas for me, my dark is like, yeah, it was witchy vibes and slightly spooky, but not actually. Make it make sense. Anyway, it was exactly what I wanted from it, so I am very excited to continue on with this messy trilogy and see where we get up to. That's okay. I'm glad, because I would rather you be comfortable with a very easy fix, and then rather than me being like, because I obviously hadn't noticed it, and I've had this loaded up for a week. Yeah, my brain's a puddle. Yeah, and then I think this is the last one for, this is the last one for April, is JP Sale with All He Wants for Christmas is a Fingerling, which is the first in the Potato Shifter series. I'm going to go with the probs not. I think JP Sale has stuff that I would be interested in, but oh good lord, I am still needing space and time to recover from that. I just, whoo lordy, that was a ride. It was a choice. I just don't even know how to articulate my thoughts on that book. Not that I can articulate any thoughts at the best of times, but in particular, it was just, you know, some books you go in and you go, this is going to be weird, this is going to be fucked up, and it's going to be a laugh, and it's going to be what I need for the time. Unfortunately, that was not this book for me. It just was so weird that I was just uncomfortable, and the descriptions that were used were very unpleasant, especially when describing the lubrication of the potato's ass. Like, holy shit. Hey! Oh my god! I really learnt about myself last year that I really just hate slime, texturally slick descriptions in books, because that's exactly how it was described. And there's another book later on that also does the same thing, and I could not stand it. Tenfold worse. But if it didn't have that description, and he didn't have the ending go the way that it did, I might not have been so uncomfortable, because I really cannot do textural, like slime, slick, wet descriptions when referring. Moist. I can deal with moist. It's a particular type of textural description in books that fucks me up. And then you have fucking Kraken Katie Robert that still manages to get 5 stars and has vomit and fucking tentacles that you would think are slimy, but she doesn't describe them as slime. So it gets 5 stars. Objectively, it's definitely a 4-star book. It's me. It's Katie Robert. It's 5 stars. But like, the fuck? It's 100%. And I'm now just clicking that it really was the way that they described the lubrication of this potato's ass that fucked me up for the rest of the book. Because I just couldn't. I could not deal with that description. Wow, I'm so glad I got an ADHD diagnosis this year. Everything makes so much more sense. Again, this shit usually gets edited out. Oh dear God. I apologize in advance. Look, for some reason, sometimes the typo is invisible and other times it'll hit my brain and get stuck. That is totally fair, and feel free anytime, holler at me. Hopefully it won't be in any of my actual like long form sit down videos, because I ain't going and changing that. But you know, we do what we can. And I'm sort of the same. Yours have sort of fucked me up at the moment. I don't know why, but my brain isn't automatically defaulting to the right one, which is infuriating, because when I do realize, I'm like, oh my God, dear God, you know this. You know this. Anyway, you know, as we do. So that was the last new to me author for April. And then in May, I completely read continuations of series. So I had 0 new to me authors in May. In June, I had 4. I just looked at what those were. Okay, please don't hate me, anyone. So the first one is 12% Dread by Emily McGovern. And this is the same illustrator of The Life of a Background Slytherin, I think is what their little comics are. And I love those. Am I going to read anything by them again after reading this book? Oh, honey, no, we are not. I was so disappointed by this book. And the story itself went off on weird fucking tangents. The plot, there was none. It was just so odd and disjointed and supposed to be a commentary on capitalism and phone addiction, but dear God, did it not hit that mark. Someone smarter than me needs to read this book and explain it to me on all the points that I missed, because I feel like it was either too smart for me or it really just didn't do it well. So, and I'm more than happy to accept the fact that, like, I am a reader for entertainment. I am not here for, critical analysis. I posted the blog the other day of the Greek myth. There ain't no thoughts up here. It just is vibes. So it could very well be I missed the entire point of this graphic novel. I also feel like I wasted so much time reading it because it was a lot thicker than I thought it was going to be, which was very unfortunate because I was very excited to read it. So yeah, that was a bit of a sad one, but these things happen. The next one is Choice Words, and this is edited by Louise Swin. I don't actually know and or remember who these authors are, where they're from, or any other collated works. So I'm going to go, I ain't going to seek it out, but I ain't going to be mad. I enjoyed most of the essays that were in this collection. They were very informative. Some were very man-bashy, which came across in a humorous way, but I feel like if I had to read a whole book by that particular author, I probably wouldn't vibe with it if it was all just a tirade about the failures of man. Because, they do stupid things, but they don't deserve a full novel worth of hate most times. Some do. Not men as a whole, though. So that one would probably be the only one that if I actually look them up, I probably wouldn't read anything else by them. But everyone else in the collection, I was very happy with. They were all well written. The curation was nice. So if there was any other works edited by Louise Swin, I definitely not hesitate to read it. If it's still nonfiction, I'll hesitate to read it because it's nonfiction, but I ain't going to seek it out in any way, shape, or form. And, you happy to waltz on? It's not quite that point. Sometimes books that claim to be saying something smart is super dumb, but I haven't read it yet, so I don't know. I don't understand. And I know that there are a lot of books that claim to say something smart and are. I'm just an idiot that did not take the time to appreciate it and or understand the fundamental knowledge that you need to have to be able to read those topics. Case in point of 2 coming up. But god damn. I don't know. Yeah. I'd like for you to read it because, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts, but at the same time, I'm also like, I don't know if I would actually want you to do that because I don't know if you would enjoy it or not. And I want you to read things that you're either going to adore and be horrified by while reading or actually like. So that's a tricky one. I mean, if you want to spend an hour or 2 or 3 reading it and tell me your thoughts, I ain't going to be mad. But if it doesn't waltz onto your TBR, I'm also fine with that. It's just, that book still confuses the fuck out of me. And it's the same for the Tom Hanks. I don't think it was a bad book. It just definitely, reading about middle-aged white guys, not my vibe. It's just not what I want to spend my time doing. Other people will adore it and probably would really like him as an author. That is fine. I just know my limitations as a person and as a reader. I'm trying to remember where I'm up to. That one. Cool. So the next one is Of the Wild by E. Wemheim, and I read this for Ren's, the Reading Ren's Queer or Not book club. They've now disbanded that book club, but please, I will link their channel once I finish this live because they are a wonderful and fabulous human, same as Erin and same as Margaret and everyone else that has joined. But yeah, I read this because of them and I am so, so happy. Again, I'm putting it in, I'm happy for you to waltz on my TBR anytime because I don't have active plans to seek out the whatever else they've written. So I'm not ready to go, but 100% if I needed to, if someone said, please go read an author with a W surname and in particular this author, I'd be like, absolutely, I'm here. So I definitely would love to pick up more of their stuff. I also think it's like my brain is one of those ones that are just like, I forget that I want to do these things, like seeking out more of these authors' backlists and put it on my wish list so I can remember about it. I just forget to do it. So then I'm just like, yeah, like I want to, but also I don't know anything about this and I constantly forget this stuff. So, yay. Thank you, Erin. So, Erin has linked the Reading Runs channel for anyone who needs it immediately because they are fabulous. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Margaret, that's my 50s era hairdo. Why, thank you, why, thank you. Yes, fabulous. We're all fabulous. Hello, Tracy. Alrighty, and I think it is the last one for June, if I'm, yes, okay. I think this is gonna hurt. So, Girl, Woman, Other by Bernadine Evaristo. So, 10 seconds ago, I was saying I'm not smart enough for these books. This is one that I definitely was a me problem, not the book problem. I'm going to put it in, I'm not going to seek it out because I don't have any desire at this current point in time to pick up the other things that they've written. I know that there was a gentleman one that I saw and I was like, yeah, cool. I'm just not going to actively seek it out at this point in time because the writing was beautiful. I just really struggle with these kinds of stories. A couple of years ago, I read The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett, and similar sort of historical continual generation. I just really struggle with multiple generational stories, I think. Same as Pachinko. Like, holy shit, I loved it, but goddamn, that took more brain power than I care to admit to be able to figure that out. And I still missed so much nuance in it. So it's just like, I know that these are good and I could get more out of them, but due to the fact that I'm a consumer of books, not a thinker of books, I don't. And that is a fully me problem that I will happily take ownership for. That is definitely me a problem, not a book problem. I genuinely think that, you know, the praise that it's received is 100% valid. I know so many people have loved it. But then we have Erin. Was it the stylistic elements? But I don't think all her books are stylized as that one. I don't know. I genuinely have no idea. I just know that I don't know how to phrase this in a way that doesn't sound bad. But for intergenerational stories, I find it really hard to care. And it's not that I don't care about the characters. I just don't always feel like I have that same connection to characters when we're following them over multiple eras, whether that be, and how it occasionally with different intergenerational, how it ties together. Sometimes it's like, oh, cool, I actually managed to follow that. More often than not, I'm like, the fuck, how are these people related? I need to do the Charlie Sunshine board with the red tape sort of stuff because you lost me. So it's, yeah, I don't know. And then half of me is like, I don't reread books because I want to read on to the next thing, which is stupid, but it's got to seek that dopamine. But there are some that I would like to read when I finally slow down in my life to take my time with them, to be able to appreciate them more. And this and like Pachinko are definitely ones that I feel like I should do that with. I'm trying to actually have thoughts, and that is painful, apparently. I want to read Mr. That's the one. Okay, sounds good. All right. Well, that one's moving up. Because now I'm like, okay, I'm happy for it to waltz on anytime. We've got plans. I'll do a buddy read. Cool. Sounds good. Yep. Sounds good. Oh, good God. Why am I like this? I also am appreciating having this video in this format because I can have these conversations and sort of figure it out as we go, which is kind of cool. Definitely don't read The Old Drift by Namwali Sapel then, because you'll break my heart if you hate it. It's a big, sprawling, intergenerational, intergenerational, oh, good God. I don't have enough brain cells to be able to read that sentence, let alone that book. Look, if I do ever end up reading it because I want to find out if this is something that is my problem with reading, so I know to avoid it in future books, I just won't tell you I read it. Like, I won't mark it on Goodreads or Storygraph. I won't talk it in a wrap-up. There will just be this thing. And I will make sure to not get it on a Libby account that we share, so you can't see that I'm reading it. The Old Drift is on my was on my wish list for so long I took it off. You're saying I should put it back on? Love it. And recommend it, but it's big. How big is it? Apologies for the clicky clackies. Okay, that's, yeah. Because that cover really calls to me, and I really want to branch out and stop reading so much white. I would love to diversify my reading more. But brain. It's the only 500 plus page book I felt, and every single page, there's nothing I got. Wow. Yeah. That is an endorsement. That is for sure. Did you end up reading, what's the Claw one? Good God. It was one of your most anticipated releases, and I can't do the title at the moment. Literally has, I'm pretty sure the claws in the title as well as on the cover, the hand, red hand, black, blue background, red hand thing. Oh, there was no clause in the title, but that's fine. You did read it? Because that was a chunky beast. I was thinking the same thing about brain power in that sentence. I wish I was the smartest I think I am sometimes. Oh, Tracy, it hurts with the relatability. Oh, yeah, that accurately sums up my entire experience with trying to navigate being smart. And the thing is, we are smart. It just, there's sometimes a loss of translation between here and here, personally. And also the application of effort. One thing I've realized is I'm not smart naturally. I am smart, but I have to work for it. And I'm also an inherently will go the easiest route humanly possible person. I will figure out the smart way around the smartness. So, shut up, Ash.
That was a sentence.
I know. I'm really regretting doing this live at this current point in time, but that is A-okay. I think I just disproved my own point. I'm not smart. And we're just going to continue on. I can hear you laughing. Shush. It's intergenerational. It moves from historical to sci-fi, and there's a great chorus element that is so... See, I like that. That sounds interesting. Going from historical to... Oh, no, because I read Cloud Atlas and didn't vibe with that. Oh, I'm learning something very valuable about myself right now. But the great chorus sounds awesome. Oh, I'm so glad. The Old Drift was my second fave of 2022. Yeah. One chunker a year. That's top tier. I love that. While everyone continues laughing at my inability to brain, I'm going to continue on with July. So I had 4 new to me authors in July, and again, are we noticing a trend? The Wind Up Girl by Paolo Balagucci. Yeah, probs now. Again, similar sort of vibes with Bernardine Evaristo of I'm not smart enough for this book. And 100% I am aware of that. I know that this book is doing smart things. But I got so wrapped up in the way that they were talking and treating women and the business side of things and being stuck in that I couldn't appreciate the whole climate discussion. Whereas one of my best friends absolutely adores this book. Like, I was going to unhaul it, and he said, like, this was one of his favorite books he's ever read. So I was like, well, we'll give it a go. And then I should have just let it be unhauled because he is very into the environmental side of things. And I just got caught on the treatment of women in it. And I just couldn't see the bigger picture because my focus just was like, oh no, this is not what I'm about in this life. No, I'm good. But I think that it is important for other people to read and get the things out of it that they need, like my best mate. But personally, I just was very much, thank you, next. 100%. Oh, I didn't realize it was actually spoken about. That makes me feel better. Excellent. Okay, yeah, it's really uncomfortable to read. It is absolutely, as a woman who has had experience, it's just like, oh shit, I did not prepare to read this on page. Like, that was a ride. And it just, the way that they treat them, and I don't know if the way that they were treated was necessary to be able to talk about the climate element of things. But for me, as a woman, I could not get past it. Every time these women, girls came on page, I was sad. I was in pain. I was reminded of the society that we live in, and it doesn't change. And I'm so thankful that you said that, Margaret, because that has really completely validated my experience with the book, and I felt like a horrible person because I want to love the things that my friends love. You know, that's half the reason I'm scared to read half of Erin's recommendations, because I'm worried I'm not going to love them because they have a different reading taste to me. But I also trust their recommendations explicitly. So it's that glee. So, yes. Okay. I feel so much better. I've opened this on TV and Adrian was like, you've read some of these books and you hated them. It's his first reaction. Yeah, I apologize. That's all right. Like, I don't necessarily need to have content warnings going into a book. It's nice if I have some idea so I'm not caught completely unaware. But I've read many books where I've actively sorted out, because for me it was not catharsis, but something that I felt passionate about seeing people be empowered by, or it's shown up and it's handled in a really exceptional way. So I'm like, fuck yeah! And I don't need the content warning because it's not triggering, because their experience is empowering rather than detrimental. But if it's detrimental, would love to have content warnings. But if it's just to, be done respectfully, but also have an adversity that the character faces and is able to have that nuance on it, I'm happy with that. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, I didn't hate The Secret History. I don't think Donna Tartt's an author for me. And I probably should just unhaul The Goldfinch because it is over 500 pages and I hate books that are chunky. And here we are. But it's there, so. It's one of those ones. I think I need to borrow an idea from Ashley from Bookish Realms, and they made their own 100 book bucket list, or 100 book bucket list that they recommend people read before they die, or that sort of a concept, because I have my scratch map, and a lot of the ones that I've tried are because of that, and I have found some absolute gems from that particular scratch map. But I would like to just shake it up and make one that is personalized to myself, like 100 books that I want to read before I die, and have it be a diverse list, but also continue chipping away at that one because I have it and I like it. There are other things I'd rather read, and I think you should. I know. Okay. Oh, this is gonna hurt. I can do it. Booktube readathons. Always. I am doing 1 week, 1 shelf for February, so that is going to be absolutely chaotic as shit. Oh, I should unhaul it before. Ha! Do I keep it on my shelves? And if I get my classic shelf, I have to read it. Why do I say things out loud? It hurts. I don't even know where I'm up to. Oh, okay, thank you. Yep, can do. It's gone. Bye, bitch. Yeah, that really helps. It's like, I want to read these books that have been recommended, but I also don't want to be reading stuff that not necessarily goes against my grain, because I don't think I should be living in an echo chamber of all the things that I read are completely fine, because reading things that are racist help me to see that racism and be able to challenge it in myself, and then know for going forward when it presents itself that that's not cool, because a lot of it's just intrinsic bias that we don't even notice. So I'm happy to let it go. That is fine. But it's like, I don't want to stay in an echo chamber. I just want to not read 500 plus page books from authors that I haven't loved that are racist. I once wanted to read the BBC's top 100 books to read, but changed my mind. There are books on there I'll never even look at. 100%. Yeah. That 100%. It is the philosophy of clothing buying market. One size doesn't fit all. Not every book is going to fit every reader. And we don't have to read things that we don't want to, even if someone says that they should. Yeah, normally not. But considering how far I'm leaning on the other side, anyway, I'm happy for that to be the edge. Yeah, that mentality has just really shifted something for me. And obviously, that's having that one size doesn't fit all is sort of alleviating for me mentally, because I've always struggled with if I don't like classics, or, the gatekeepy sort of things to reading. And it's like, this bitch loves Katie Roberts. She loves Sebastian de Castell. She does not need to have fucking in-depth 100 classics on my shelves, because my size is not classics. The occasional, sure. Spoiler alert, I'm reading Oliver Twist in March. Fuck, my soul wants to die at that thought. But I want to read it. I want to give it a go. I'm not actively like, I should unhaul this. It's like, no, I actually want to give this a go. The Goldfinch, just like, yeah. No, thank you. Oh! Yes. I can go into Canva and make a pretty picture. I'm pretty sure the Ash would be so concerned at hearing me just saying, because he wouldn't have the context to why I was making a pretty picture of it. Very good.
I just know that you go to the camera and making pretty pictures.
I make pretty pictures. Erin said, I think we need one size doesn't fit all on a bookmark.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because I really love it. Oh, that's amazing. I hadn't tied those two thoughts together yet. I was like, a tailor's mannequin? Sure. Actually liked it. Nice. Love. Oh, this is so cool. I'm having so much fun. This is great. I'm so happy I did this. Like, obviously, I'm gonna have moments where I'm like, what are thoughts? I think he's just gone to the bathroom, but I'll tell him when he gets back. I'll do the next one and come back. All right. Mexican Gothic. So I'm tossing up between absolutely ready to go and happy to walk on TBR, because I could easily get access at any time to any more of their work, but I don't technically have another work of theirs on my TBR, and I don't own anything. This is where the standalones get hard, because like I'm ready to go. I'm ready to read the next book in the series. But yeah. Happy. Okay, I'm happy. Yeah, I definitely could pick up their stuff at the drop of a hat, but I'm not quite at that point. I have other things I'd prioritize first. But I love their writing. Oh my god, it was amazing. Hey, Ash. Nope. Okay. And the next is The Bone Witch. Now, this is a funny one, because I think I gave The Bone Witch 3.5 stars.
What do you call?
Yeah.
What's up?
Erin said, I'd be shocked if Ash was really shocked at anything you said out of context at this point.
No, I am not. It's kind of just that's surprising.
That's a statement,
But
she said.
That certainly was a choice of words.
Yeah, that's accurate. I love you.
What?
Yes. The Bone Witch, I gave it 3.5. I really, really enjoyed it, but it didn't wow me. But I've already continued with the next book in the series because I had it on my shelves. And I now haven't continued with the third one, which I probably should have, because Kara said you needed to read those very close together to be able to enjoy the whole story. But here we are. I can't read the last book in a trilogy, apparently, to save my goddamn life. Love it. But speaking of trilogies, I've read in full. We have The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter, which is written by Theodora Goss. Absolutely loved it. Read the entire trilogy last year and will happily pick up any other of their works. I haven't actually looked into it. Again, this is my problem. Need to remember to look into authors to see what else they have, because I adored it. It was so good. The second one definitely kind of tests that that's a slug. It does not need to be as long as it was. But the third one I really, really enjoyed and brought back up the overall rating of the series, because the third one just made it work. I honestly think it should have been a quartet and halved the second book into two sort of stories. It's, one exception. Hey, Bubba, would you mind getting me my water bottle from the fridge if you're free? If you're in the middle of something, it's all good. Whew. You are. It's just that the second one is a choice. I also took a long time to read the second one after reading Stranger Dreamer. I didn't enjoy the shifting fast pace. Oh, really? See, I love when books like that break the fourth wall and all of that sort of element to it. And when they have like little anecdotes and thank you, you're amazing. That sort of, other insert, I eat that shit up. If you've got any recommendations for that, please. I wonder if that would work, reading an intergenerational story that is more the flow on of the family talking to one another as the story progresses, if that would work better for me. Yeah. I think, I don't know. I think Strange to Dreamer really held a particular spot in my heart for a while there, and Muse was fabulous, but because it was that slow to warm back up, it's like, okay, we're doing what we can. Oh, hee. Right, and those were my 4 July books. Sweet. I didn't realize that. Ooh. Okay, so we're now diving into August, and there was another 6. Legend Lattes, boom, already continued. Fucking loved it. Read Bookshops and Bone Dust. Mwah, beautiful. Absolutely fabulous. Understand the hype. It's everything my vibe of cozy that I adore. And I know people haven't loved the second one as much as the first. I'm sort of in the same boat, but I still adored both. And just the characters. Oh, it makes me so happy. Whoop-a-doo. Yeah. It's like nom. Just the descriptions of food and coffee and people experiencing coffee for the first time in Legends and Lattes broke me a little inside because I have a coffee intolerance and I can't drink it anymore. Oh, it hurt. I missed it sorely reading that book because I was just thinking back to when I could drink it and how much I enjoyed it and the fact that I can't, and that was depressing. Just, you know. I gave up alcohol and that was fine, but trying to, I had to give up coffee. Like there was no ifs or buts. It made me so unwell. So it was an easy thing to give up, but goddamn, I miss it. I don't miss alcohol in the slightest, and that was an active choice. Maybe that's what it was, because I actively made the choice to stop alcohol. I don't miss it, but because I didn't actively choose to give up coffee, I genuinely miss it. Who knows? The next one is Dirty Laundry by Roxanne Emery and Richard Pink. I don't know if I want to be nice or harsh. I think I'm going to go, oh, honey, no. What did I end up giving it? 4 stars? Yeah. This is a rough one for me because it's looking at their experience with removing shame from ADHD and not I don't even know how to accurately describe it in a way that does it justice, because it's really their anecdotal relationship experience of someone that is ADHD and someone that is neurotypical. And it personally, for me, was not overly healthy. But it is their experiences. So I can't discredit the experiences. But also, dear God, I hope people don't pick this up and think this is what a healthy relationship looks like, because, it really shouldn't. And that's really a really hard call to make. I appreciate that they, are building on loving yourself if you have ADHD and the things that people struggle with ADHD, not letting that become a negative thing. Like if you're always running late, that's okay. That's who you are. I just found that they picked things that weren't necessarily also ADHD traits. Like a lot of them were, but there was also a few that I was pretty sure were based from trauma, based off my very limited psychology knowledge, and I am not a psychologist, so I can't speak critically on it, but that also was a problem because they had zero psychological input or medical input. It is completely anecdotal, and that worried me. So yeah, I really enjoy seeing their TikToks, and their short form is definitely valuable because it is impactful at getting the message across in a positive way. But there were some things that they described that I was like, I know that is okay. Again, I'm not backed by a medical professional, and that was one of my problems, was they also weren't backed by a medical professional. So I can't like completely discredit it. It's just, I don't think I'll pick up anything else by them because you could definitely tell that it was an ADHD intrusive thought. I'm going to write a book because why the fuck not at 2:00 in the morning? And then they got bored of it halfway through. So but I still think it's good if you want to learn how to accept yourself when you have ADHD. Just maybe not in a relationship vibe. Yeah, not succeeding. It's weird, isn't it? Well, I'm glad for us. Like, if we don't miss it, cool. We don't have it, then we don't miss it. But it's definitely one of those things that I was like, I'm surprised that I don't miss this. And I didn't have a problem with alcohol. It was more the mental side effects rather than like excessive drinking or anything like that, which I just made the active choice to be like, I'm wasting money on something that isn't giving me joy right now. So, yeah. But yeah, thought I'd miss it. Thought I'd miss having the one drink I miss is having a Scooby snack. And I have no idea what's in that motherfucker, but I'm pretty sure it's mostly green thing and it tastes like drinking a splice. I can just go eat a splice. Yeah. So, offered a book deal, impulsively accepted, and then got bored. Yeah, that definitely feels how it read. But I'm glad that publishers are looking into people that are experiencing life in a neurodiverse way. You know, I'm sure they would have potentially manuscripts on their desks in regards to it from people trying to become published authors, but here we are. And it exists. So, you know, it's there. I just don't think I'll pick up anything else. Oh God, this one's hard. So next is Penguin and House, and I'm putting it in I'm happy because I need to look up who the author is. A keto idea. And I don't know, because I really didn't like how this protagonist treated the penguin. But I think I'm going to continue with this series, but I'm also not sure. I might go, I ain't going to seek it out. I ain't going to seek out the second one, but we've got the first one and I read it. So yeah, that feels good. Publishers love to publish stuff from people with a social media following, then offer them no research support because they don't actually care what the content is. Oh, that is an accurate summation of how this book read. Like, my psychologist enjoyed it as well. She found a lot of different value in different points and being able to see people from a different perspective. And we did chat about it, but we didn't go in detail. Like, I wasn't picking her brain to psychologically analyze it. And I think she definitely enjoyed it more than I did. But yeah, it was just one of those things that I read and I was just like, oh, okay. This is a different life experience from me. And I don't know how I feel about that. But, you know, publishers be doing what publishers do. At least we have people like Margaret that are like, I am going to self-publish these things because I am amazing and a boss-ass fucking bitch. Hello! Alrighty. Next up we have Fly Away by Kathleen Jennings. And don't really know much about this author. It was interesting and based in Australia, so I would like to continue reading more from them, but I also haven't actively wanted to seek it out, but also it was very interesting. This is hard. Yeah, I ain't gonna seek it out. I think that it was very well crafted, but I just don't feel, my gut doesn't scream, get more of this on my TBR. There we go. I apologize. I love you. I don't think she has much of a backlist. She does more. Well, I'd be curious to pick up more of their illustration stuff, whatever that entails. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to seek it out. We'll see. That may change. I still thought it was a good book. See, this is where it's like the in-between. I have half stars for a reason, but I don't have half categories because I have to make decisions. Dear God. All right, we're getting there, Medusa. Yes, I have read Where the Mountain Meets the Moon by Grace Lynn. I have not continued with the other two companion novels, though, because I, for some reason, don't have my hands on them and just haven't picked them up. But I really, really loved it. It was beautiful. Trying to remember when I read it. It was when Gavin was still doing Believe-a-thon, because I read it through their recommendation. What was that? 2021? I'm going to say that without looking it up and just have faith. I read it in 2021. Anyone feel free to call me out for being a liar? Feel free. Have you read it? Or are you currently reading it? Oh, yeah. I love that. It's just beautiful. If anyone hasn't read it, it's a middle grade and absolutely just stunning. Both visually and story-wise. Yeah. Oh, so cute. Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. Oh, it's so cute. I love hearing about stuff like that and little family experiences. Next up we have Ring Shout by P. Jelly Clark and Already Continued. I love their writing. It is absolutely fantastic. See, this was one that I got. I understand. Maybe I just need novella, smart books to be novellas sized. Then my brain can actually compute it in its bite-sized format. Maybe. I've continued on by reading Master of Jinn, and I also read A Dead Jinn in Cairo. Jacqueline from Jaxie Jax Reads on Instagram was getting me to read it for my bookish challenge last year for Brain Master of Jinn, and then they wanted me to read a book set in Cairo, so I read A Dead Jinn in Cairo, and then Ring Shout was, I think I ended up using it for Erin's prompt of a black horror, I think, but that's testing my memory, and I don't trust that, so we'll see. But yes, absolutely, already continued with their work. They're absolutely fabulous. And then What You Were Looking For in the Library by, I need to have this in front of me so I can actually pronounce it, Michiko Ayama. This is where I'm fucked because I have not looked into their backlist. I have no idea if they have anything else that has been translated, but holy shit, if there was, I'm done. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Put that in my hands, give it in my eyeballs, let me listen with my ears. I'm here for it. This was my favorite book of 2023. It was so just everything I needed at the moment that I read it. the interconnections between each of the stories was just so good. And it just, my heart, I cried so often. It was great. I don't know if it is a book that everyone will love. From the general consensus I've seen, a lot of people have loved this, which fills me with joy. I think, I don't know if Ash has headphones on or not, but I'm pretty sure he was like top. But yeah, holy golly gosh, I just so yeah, it's on my this is where I need to sit with my list of authors and actually go through it, because sweet lordy, I'm like, in all technicality, it's I'm happy for you to waltz on my TBR at any time, but also I'm ready to go. If someone was to put it in my hands right this second, I would read it. Oh, good. I think that was what your recommendation was, and I was like, I can do that. That's short. Yahoo! Oh, I'm so excited. Please let me know how you get along with it. If you don't like it, I will be fine. I may cry, but it'll be fine. Good night. Rest well. Yeah, just I don't know if I read this at a different time if it would have been my favorite book of 2023. But because I read it when I did, it just everything I needed. It was so amazing. And I just See, it's funny, the more that I gush about the book, the less I can actually articulate my thoughts on it, because it's all just vibes of rainbow, sunshine, happiness, and hard eyes towards it. So, you know. Beautiful. All right. So, funnily enough, we're only in August. So, for September, I read 4 new to me authors. And the first was Noriko Morishita, who wrote The Wisdom of Tea, which was also one of my top, if not my second, book of 2023. But, okay, I think for this one, I'm going to go, I'm happy for them to waltz on, because I don't know if I would want to pick it up the second it comes into my hand, because I had left The Wisdom of Tea to be one of those books that I was saving for a rainy day. Ash had got it for me in 2020 because I read it for my book or revisited. And then I hadn't really got into tea or matcha, and then I dabbled in it last year, and it came up for my book or revisit. I was like, cool, now's the time to read it. It was the perfect time to read that goddamn book. Like, goddamn, the tabs in that. It just shook me to my core with resonating with a lot of my experiences going straight into uni, becoming a teacher, and then not teaching, and sort of giving permission to myself to understand that my life is going to ebb and flow in different ways, and whatever choice I make, as long as I make that choice with intentionality, it's the right choice for that time. And that was kind of cool. And also, I need to let go of the why mentality of, why am I doing this thing? Why am I doing this now? Why am I doing this? And sort of just learning the process rather than the reasoning. Just trust the flow. And that was a very crucial message that I needed when I read this book, when I did. And wow, I just realized I made a career decision at the end of last year, and I tossed and turned on it for a while. Not a while, but enough time. But I made that active choice, and I feel like that book was sort of floating in the back of my brain. So I'm not going to put it on ready to go, because I think I want to savor those for when I think I might need them, and then just pray to the TBR gods that when it happens, it's perfect. So that's why it's happy to waltz, even though I highly recommend it for anyone that just wants a non-fiction to sort of focus on the now. Yeah. Next was Hangman by Jack Heath. In all technicality, I've continued because I read the second one in this month, but I didn't continue in 2023. So do I put absolutely I'm ready to go because I knew someone was going to put it on for my bookish peeps for 22? Yeah, we'll go here. So absolutely I'm ready to go. Basically because I'm ready to go. I knew that either Ren or Crystal from the Bomb Book Reviews was going to put it onto my Bookish Peeps challenge for 2024. And so that was one of the reasons I didn't continue in 2023, but I'm ready. I'm here. I'm prepared to read the entire series in 2024. So very excited to continue on. Then we have Witch by Finbar Hawkins, which was a middle grade that I'm going to put in, yeah, probs not. Their covers are stunning. Absolutely beautiful. The content is not the kind of middle grade that I get the most fulfillment out of anymore, unfortunately. I need to lean more Jacqueline Moriarty, Jessica Townsend sort of style. This was very much that preteen. Like, I'm trying to deal with some hard topics, but I'm also still writing it so that a younger audience can read it, and it just didn't work for me personally. I think a lot of middle grade preteen kids will love this. And it's great because it's giving them some historical knowledge, and it is sort of dark for a middle grade book. But for me personally, it just didn't hit the same note. So I probably won't continue on with their other stuff as much as I want those beautiful editions on my shelf. Can't just be about the beauty. It's got to be about what's on the inside. I totally judge a book by its cover, by the way. Serious Moonlight by Jen Bennett. Oh, this is rough. Good God. I enjoyed this out of, so I was doing a buddy read with Mel from Book Fiend named Mel and Crystal from Bomb Book Reviews. And I enjoyed it the most out of all three of us. And I know that they have an extensive backlist of YA. Am I right to say like 2010s, 2015 YA? Which I think I'm starting to phase out of that quite significantly. So it's like, I didn't dislike this book. In fact, I enjoyed it a lot more than two other people. But am I going to be mad if it? Yeah, nah, I think I gotta go perhaps not. Good night. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoyed my chaotic brain trying to do a thing. Good luck with the doctor's appointments. Oh, I'm like, no, stick with my decision. I know that I'm probably not going to pick it up. And if it came onto my TBR, I'd be very surprised at how. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm sticking with it. Decisions. Mammoth by Chris Blinn. This is an Aussie author. He is very entertaining. This was a very entertaining book. It's told from the perspective of woolly mammoth, and I had so much fun reading this. I'm absolutely going to continue on, and I'm ready to go because I have Here Be Leviathans, which is a collection of short stories I think he's put together, and I've got that on my TBR. So I'm ready to go to read the next one. It's so interesting seeing what ends up between these two because, like, if I had that, they would be there. But because I don't. It's there. Anyway, same as that. But yes, I really enjoy Crystalline's writing. Ash had a lot of fun time with it, and we got to meet him, and that was really lovely. You read that around the time I read a book I read that around the time that I had failed to be able to speak. I read a book blurbed by Crystalline, and the author talked about how Mammoth inspired them. So I want to read it. Nice. I hope you enjoy it. It's very funny. The audiobook is very entertaining because the narrator reads so fucking slowly in the tone and cadence of what a woolly mammoth probably would have sounded like if they spoke English. Take it that sentence what you will. But then there is also it's a bird. And basically listening to it on 3 times speed, holy shit, that bird sounds hilarious. It's like the one of those little Mexican characters. And it's like, and then it's speaking in 3 times speed. So it's just like turbojetted Mexican, and it's great. So very much enjoyed that experience. Apologies, I have something caught in my throat and I'm just casually dying. Hannah Devine, I'll let myself in. In all technicality, it has to go there because this is her debut and she doesn't have anything out yet. That is unfortunate. So Hannah Devine is a Australian woman and has written her memoir about her life and having cerebral palsy and the way that she's, I don't want to say like, I'm trying to figure out the right wording, because it was essentially, she doesn't want to be defined by her disability, which 100%, but she's now a disability advocate because she went through that journey of, no, I don't want to be identified by this particular thing. I'm so much more than that, which absolutely 100%. And then she's now found that self-acceptance and self-empowerment through being a disability advocate. So it's fabulous. So good. Good night. Thank you for joining. I hope you adore it. She is so sweet. And yeah, it was just really informative on different structures, also just different parts of her life and the successes she's had and the trials that she's gone through. Very much just a memoir that happens to be about a woman who is navigating a world when they have cerebral palsy and their acceptance and growth in that. It's interesting. It's very interesting. Also highlighted to me how inaccessible most fucking places are, which is atrocious. Because able-bodied, so I hadn't had that light switch go off before, but I realized not a single person at my school was wheelchair bound, and they couldn't have attended because we don't have ramps or lifts at my high school. It's just not a thing. We had stairs that we had to go up to be able to go down. It's just, how is that acceptable? Like, I don't, anyway, wasn't the main point, just one takeaway that resonated with me because that was my first real proper slap in the face wake up call. 100%. What the fuck? It can't be that hard to adjust to make it more accessible. Like, I don't get it. I don't get why places have to be inaccessible. I don't know. It's not like we're going to the moon. Actually, the moon probably would be more accessible because we're in zero gravity. Anyway, we're not going to fall down that ADHD rabbit hole I just had. But yeah, I really hope you enjoy it, and you'll have to let me know your thoughts when you do get to it, Tracy. Oh, shit. Right. My bad. We are out of September. Whoops. And halfway through October. My bad. So Mammoth and I'll let myself in. I read in October. But we have another 4 because that's who I am as a person. So the next one is Blackwater Sister. And I'm ready to go because I have the other one on Everend. But I think I'm going to go Happy. I'm happy for it to waltz on anytime. I'm not actively planning to read the next one right this second, but I'm very happy to continue with their catalogue. I don't think they have too much out, but I definitely would be curious in picking up more. I really enjoyed Blackwater Sister, and I'm just curious to see what other things they can do because it was very cool. Diary of Blood. Absolutely ready to go. I would like to read an Encore of Roses, which is the short story thing. And the second, An Education of Malice, comes out. I will be getting my grubby little hands on that one because yes, please. So very excited for that. But yes, I'm ready to continue with the series by reading the short story thing. Yeah, that's a sentence. And then we have Jack by Layla Faye. I wonder. Yeah. Jack's going into, oh, honey, no. In all honesty, it's probably leaning more towards, yeah, probs not, because if I happen to pick up a prompt and the monster ever after fulfills it, then fine, whatever, I'll read the next one. I'm not completely against it, but also, this was not my vibe. This was not what I enjoy in Monster Smart. I just see, yeah, like I'm in the same boat of probably something's going to come up, but I'd rather swap over to read Ice Planet Barbarians, or I Married a Lizard Man, or anything else than the way that she described the texture and slime of his face, of his cum, and of his tongue. I just can't. I know it's meant to be a lol. I know it's not taking itself seriously, but also I can't take it. So I just know. No, thank you. Yeah. Like, I understand that some people absolutely adore it and think it's the most hilarious thing in the entire planet, and I'm very happy for them. Like, genuinely, I wish I had that reading experience, but I did not. So, oh, honey, no. Yeah, no. I just realized that jumped out of order. That should be there. Alrighty. Autism Heals by Jennifer O'Toole. I thought they did. I'm not actually sure. I assume that there is a book for everyone, and that goes both ways. They love it. I'm sure someone's given it 5 stars. It's an average rating of a 3.44 with 4,000 ratings. That's actually, I don't know. I need to scroll down. Like, Gavin gave it 5 and was like, well, now I want to try anal. Colleen, ridiculously funny. They laugh the whole time. 20% 5 stars, 27 4, 33% 3 stars. Like, I'm in the minority. I think I still gave it a 2 instead of a 1. because I didn't hate it. I just was so uncomfortable. Like, yeah, a lot of the booktubers that read it around that time was like, this is hilarious. And that's what I'm taking from it. You rated it 2 stars. I was just on Goodreads, so I could see that. Had fun with it, but a terrible book. That's fair. I'm still stuck. I don't know where to put Autism in Heels. Erin, I think you gave it a 2 as well. I think we all gave it a 2. Yeah, we all gave it a 2. So the reason I'm squinting at my screen is for Autism in Heels. I would be happy to pick up more from Jennifer Cook O'Toole, but I know that all of their works are based around autism, and I don't know how much autism nonfiction I want to devour from them, having read that one. But did my psychiatrist recommend me others, and now I've forgotten the name, so potentially there's another one that I want to read from them. But I can't remember. I think I do, I'm happy. I like to read terrible smut for fun, and I find it more fun if it commits to the absurdity. Yeah, I don't think it didn't. I just, no, it definitely was trying to, is it just me, or was it actually trying to take itself a little bit seriously? I don't know. I'm so confused by it. Okay. All right. Yeah. Autism in Heels, happy for it to waltz on my TBR. I can do that. I feel solid in that decision. Oh, I forgot that was next. Dear God. So, Beauty by Bree Lee. Shit. I don't know where to put this because I have always been curious in Eggshell Skull, whatever their other one is, the pink cover. Why can I remember covers all of a sudden, but not actually the names of titles, when before it was both? No, I was right. It was Eggshell Skull. I always was interested in reading it, but since reading Beauty, I don't know if I want to read it anymore. Ha! But it's something that I'm so interested in. Thank you. I was so interested in it, but maybe because Beauty was so short, it really screamed privileged white girl. And if Eggshell Skull is that same sort of, wrong word here, but the only way I can think of, pretentiousness, then I'm not going to vibe with it. But if it's the same lines of Know My Name, I definitely will vibe with it. Okay, we're just going to go, I already put it in. I ain't going to seek it out, but I ain't going to be mad if it happens. Sorry, if eggshell skull comes onto my TBR, I ain't going to be mad at it. But I'm no longer actively seeking it out because that one just, yeah. Whereas before, it would have been up there for me. So, that hurt me. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel that. Oh, honestly, the only one that really just had, oh no, because Jen Bennett I could happily do. Finbar Hawkins I could put. Maybe that's my probs not. It's like, you got one more chance, bitch. Or like, I'm only continuing because you're on my physical TBR. It's like, you're on my mental TBR as well, because I know that beauty's my mental TBR, but I don't physically own it, sort of thing. Same as Jen Bennett. Anyway, take it that way you will. Only Good Indians. In all technicality, it's Happy to Waltz On because I don't have anything else on my TBR by them. But it was so good that... No, I think the only reason it's going on this and not my absolutely ready to go is because I don't know if I'm ready to deal with the topic matter. I think I'm not right in this moment ready to tackle that and having to think on it. That's 100% the only reason, because we've got all of their back catalogue. But like, then if I was to pick up, the Mannequin, the short story one, I'd be fine with that. But no, I'm not quite ready to dive back into the Stephen Graham Jones catalogue yet. Give me like maybe another month or two. But I'm happy for them to come onto my physical TBR so I can read them with my eyes. Yeah, I think I feel good with that. It definitely easily could be there, but because I know mentally I'm not quite ready, we're gonna just waltz on the TBR. Oh, Boy Erased by Gerard Connolly. That is a rough one because no. Actually, that's a pretty solid. Boy Erased was one of the most surprising books that I read last year, just because I wasn't prepared for how well it was written. And I had sat on this book for a month of Sundays, so it definitely surprised me when I read it. But I don't know what the author backlist is, if there is any, and I'm not 100% sure if I would necessarily pick it up, because this I picked up on a whim because of the content, not the author. Maybe that would be, again, the one more chance, but that it was fabulous. So it's leaning more that way than that. But then, yeah, I ain't going to seek it out. I ain't seeking it out. That's for sure. But goddamn, that was a brilliant book. Nothing to see here. Look, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to read another Kevin Wilson. We constantly have it on the Libby app with Now Is Not the Time to Panic. So, yeah, I'm ready to go. I think I could pick another one up. I don't know any other of their catalogue, and it's only because of that one that it's not Happy to Waltz on the TBR, because I know that Kevin Wilson is already on my library TBR. But, yeah, it's just funny. Yeah, And I wanted to read Nothing to See Here before I picked that one up, but we'll do it. We'll get there. I'm ready to go. We got this. I have so many other books I need to read this year as well, so, you know, we'll get there. Cemetery Boys. Ooh. I think I'm going to go Happy for You to Waltz On. I don't have the Sunbearer Trials, but I would be happy to pick it up. And the next Cemetery Boys is coming out sometime, but I don't have it, so I'm not ready to go yet. But more than happy to continue on with their work. Really enjoyed Cemetery Boys. Thought it was very cute. Cute's the wrong word to describe that book, but lovely. The journey and progression was very, very interesting to read. Ooh, this is an interesting one. The Smell of Other People's Houses. Again, surprised by the book. Don't know if I will seek out. Don't know if I have sought out. Yeah, like, it's cute, but the things that I liked from it was more the character exploration. But yeah, the dynamics were so cute. Yeah, I think People's Houses, definitely. I would be happy if it made onto my TBR, but I don't actually know what they have, so yes. Health Moving Castle. Absolutely, I'm ready to go. I've already got the next two. In all technicality, I've read the next one, so whoopsies. But yeah, 100%. Oh, fabulous. So good. Oh. And Madeline Door. I didn't do the thing today. I'm probably not going to continue on. I liked it. I picked it up for one of the prompts for Bookymon. I think one of the Christmas ones. And it was okay, but I don't feel like it's nonfiction that I need to go back to. And they were more collating interviews to be other people's thoughts than their own. So that's it. Woohoo! Wow. I love that The Secret History is literally the only exception. There we go. That makes me feel better. Because if I unhaul the goldfinch, then I don't have to continue. But I don't think it's, oh, honey, no, it wasn't my vibe. It's just, yeah, it's not something I want. Oh, I'm very happy with that list. Excellent. Yeah. So 5 authors I continued on with in the year. 8 I'm ready to pick up. 14 happy to continue on with, but just don't have anything on my current TBR. 8 I ain't gonna seek it out, but I'm not mad that I read from them. I've only got 7 probs not, which I'm really happy with. I think that that's great, that I can accept that maybe these authors aren't for me, and that's okay. And then 6, like, oh, sweet Lotus. Oh, no. So I did have one other form for this, and it's sort of ranking the authors more than what I did with, like, how I'm continuing on with them. And it's basically just like 6 stars, 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, all of that. But I have been doing this for 2 hours, so I can just sort of sit here and fiddle with it as I go, because who's it going to kill? But I don't have to talk through what I'm doing per se. Because this feels more like, not necessarily the other one didn't feel inaccurate, but like there are some that I'm just like, yeah. I just put The Secret History in. Oh, honey, no. That's so funny. My brain was saying, like, you got this. Basically, it's like same, but slightly different in the actual positioning. Here it is. It definitely is. Basically, so like having what you're looking for in wisdom actually on the top is sort of where I was wanting, because it's just the way that is. So based off that, okay. So the only reasons it's not going in new favorite is because I can't mentally gel with it at the moment. It's like I need to have more distance and I need to come at it from a not as emotive, reactive reading experience. So yeah, that was easy. Because this really feels more accurate. Similar, like this was my happy for them to waltz on my TBR, mixed with more accurate ratings if I've continued on with the series. Like, I loved All Our Hidden Gifts, but it's not a new favorite. And that's the same with Only Good Indians. It's not a new favorite yet, but I can definitely see those authors becoming new favorites as I read more of their books. You know, didn't wow me, but I liked it enough. But this was already continued. Like, so yeah, this feels a little bit more accurate to my own personal style, which is cool. And some of these books technically could be higher than others, but because I'm thinking of it as an author, it's not as like Ring Shout could be I'm obsessed, but I'm also thinking that I'm not at that level of obsession, but that's still 5 stars, which is why it's now at the high end of new favorite. And yeah, so I'm just sort of having a fiddle to see. Like, I'm pretty sure. I also can't remember Jack Shear. Like, yeah, Flowers for Algernon was 4.5. The Trauma Cleaner was a 4.5. But, like, the writing itself didn't wow me. Mexican. Actually, that would probably be top of that list. And up there. And yeah, this just gives you an insight into my brain and how everything is completely arbitrary. But, I didn't really do a ranking of sorts. Like I did top 5, top 3, top 9. Actually feel pretty... no, I feel like that should... no, we'll keep that. That can go to the end. That can go further to the end. These are all pretty, like, same. Technically, that was the top lowest rated. But then that was the most disappointing. I think I would prefer... Thinking on these, if I had to reread any of them, that would be my... Oh, wait, no, so I want to go in reverse because we want the lowest. There we go. Cool. Oh, there we go. So that's... And, like, honestly, I don't know if any of those were a... Mexican Gothic, like, these two were 5 stars for what they are. Mexican Gothic was a 5-star. Diary of Blood, Autism in Heels was 5. But, and, Of the Wild was a 4.5. So it's not necessarily like completely on par to my actual star ratings, but just vibing is what they were like as an author. That's this. Like, I'm obsessed. And so would like to read more and do the things. So I'm glad that none of them got lower than a 4. So, but even, yeah, like that was a 4.5, but that was a 3.5. Yeah. That was very off the cuff with very little thought behind it, but that feels significantly accurate. I unfortunately can't do like the comparison, but side by side, but it's interesting. Interesting. It's funny how the 3s sort of shifted. Like, I Ain't Gonna Seek It Out still was in I'm Vibing, and Beauty moved down to I Ain't Gonna Vibe, because for that book personally, with her writing in that, I didn't vibe with it, but I still read other stuff by them if that so happened. So if that makes sense. I don't know if that made sense, but that was just something I thought on doing because I thought it was interesting. And I'm really happy with my little list. I'm going to save these before I forget. Udemy. Whoop. Top 10 bottom. Download. And what should I call the other one? Vibes? Go. Alrighty. Vibe check. Love it. Excellent. Thank you. Alrighty. Yeah. So that's that. I thought that was kind of fun. Oh, my ass is stuck to my chair. I have sweat dripping everywhere. Oh! Oh! Hi, Mama! I love you! Oh, I'm sorry. I totally didn't see Mum's messages. My mum's currently watching. Hello, Mum. I love you. Her suggestion for name was to vibe or not to vibe. And then I was just complaining about being stuck to my actual chair. So. Oh, too funny. Hello. Yeah, I was just starting to wrap up because we have done the rankings. So these are my top to bottom authors that were new to me, and I love you too. And where they ranked, and that's kind of cool. So I know Erin's, I always trust their recommendations. And I'll just quickly load up this is the vibe check, to vibe or not to vibe. So it's interesting seeing the slight differences and just being able to go, yeah, cool. So I'm glad you thought it was fun. I had fun. I had a little bit of an existential crisis at some points because Kai, I'm having to make a firm decision. What the fuck is that? But once we got in the swing and I could, talk through and be like, this feels right. We were good. And we had a nice little chit chats every so often about different things, which was fun. But yes, I don't know if I will do something like this again, but more than happy to. I think doing the tier ranking as a live show is better for me, more chaotic for you guys, but it just works better. So I quite enjoy them. And this is technically my Friday video. I had so much trouble trying to edit this. So when I've already filmed this once before, or I filmed the sit down version of it, and I had so much trouble editing it and getting it all sorted. And Ash was like, well, just go live. And I was like, that is a brilliant idea. You miraculous genius. So this is what we did. And yeah, I like doing different things. I probably should give people a little bit more notice that I'm doing these rather than just, I'm going to do it now. But I was trying to convince myself that I wanted to do this today, even though I'm a sweaty little potato and this is currently not on. So that was where the motivation was required. And I didn't know if I was going to do this today because of that. But we did, and it was great. And I'm so glad that I did. Ash is very smart. He definitely puts the creative thinking back into my brain. I can get very caught in like, I've already filmed this, so the logical train of progression is to edit it and get it uploaded. It's either going to be late because I'm having so many technical issues, or I'm going to just can it and not do it. And then he comes and goes, why don't you just do it live? And I'm like, because you're a fucking genius. Apologies. It was very spur of the moment. And I had scheduled it to go live at 4. And then I was just like, fuck it. I'm ready. Let's do it. So I'm glad that everyone got to come along and you could see the final results as well. I think I'm probably not going to bother taking this footage and editing it down into a shorter version. If people just want to see it, it's here. So we'll just stick with that. Yes, Ash and I are eventually going to be doing our chaos chats. Not sure what that looks like, but if anyone has any topics or points of interest that you would like to hear Ash and I talk about, feel free to let us know. Because we're happy to blay about everything. Similar to earlier when I was talking about, problematic authors and that sort of stuff, it's hard in live to articulate what we want to do carefully. but I think there are some things that we've had a lot of fun talking about previously and want to, we're happy to take the chaos live. So yeah, if there's anything that you want to hear us talk about, feel free to send me a message, comment on a video with it, whatever you'd like to do. More than happy to hear it. My bad. Sorry. You made it. And help me. Help my brain do the things. But I'm going to sign off now. Once again, thank you so much for joining me in my chaotic, sweaty mess. I really love having everyone around and being able to chat. And who knows, the next time I'll go live, probably with, oh wait, no, I should be going live tomorrow. We have the book discussion for Jade City. That's right. Yes. So if anyone's reading Jade City, I'm doing the Bookstara live on my channel tomorrow at 12 p.m. It may be 11 a.m. depending. But yes, that is happening. So you'll see my face then if you show up, and if not, it will be around. So I will see you all then. Have a good night. Bye.